Hey guys, it is 7 o'clock. I believe that's what the clock says, and it's Tuesday. It's today Tuesday. Come on in here, darling. I've lost track of the days already, and we just getting started.
Yes, ma'am. It is only Tuesday, and that just breaks my little heart.
I guess we'll do with it then. 2 more days, 3 more days in the week.
Well, it's just because the long weekend, because of the holiday, had me completely thrown off. So it doesn't feel like Tuesday.
I could have taken a whole nother extra day of holidays. We lost Sam just as soon as we got her.
I know. I saw her, and I was like, "Well, hell, where the hell did she go?"
Hey everybody over in YouTube land, Louisa and Electra and Stefan and Jacarius. Hey boys.
Thank y'all for coming out to join us for drinks the day after.
Y'all don't hate me today because I got distracted when oh hold on, there's Sam. Hey Sam.
Yes, guys, my audio didn't kick in the first time. I am so glad to get you guys.
Okay, we ain't started nothing yet. I was just getting ready to tell Darlin. I don't even remember what. Oh, yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you fall into TikTok or something?
No, well, what had happened was my friend sent me a message, and I was trying to communicate with her with voice to text. You know how you can record your voice and send that as a message to somebody instead of just like typing everything out with your fingers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I do when I'm working because I can still be working and talk to my phone at the same time. And she didn't know that that was something that was possible. And I was like, yeah, you can even do like video calls with people. And she was like, what? And so I tapped the thing and then we were on a video call. And the next thing you know, it was 2 hours later. And I hadn't done none of my work because I just stopped doing my work to talk to the phone. And so, as a result, I did not watch all of General Hospital today. The most that I saw was Holly on the Run. So, we probably will skip GH today unless somebody else watched it and they know what happened. And then y'all let me know and then we can discuss it. But I got nothing for you today. I'm sorry. Oh, but while I was teaching her about that, she taught me that I can get on my Amazon TV and go to my live feed there, and it's not supposed to feed off the antenna. It's supposed to just feed off of the internet. And so that was a little bit more stable connection for me than just using my antenna. So it was productive, but it wasn't productive in the way I needed it to be.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, I did not see GH, but all I did see on Twitter was somebody ass caught on fire, and I do believe it was Holly.
Well, Orange said it was a mess.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go back and watch it later. You know, they don't post the recap until probably the next day. I'm not going to be up till midnight waiting on them to decide to drop that episode.
Yeah.
Somebody talked about it enough on Twitter for me to find it.
Exactly. Well, that's okay. I mean, because GH ain't been the most given soap, so if they get zonked for a night, I don't think it's gonna kill us.
Yeah.
I know that's
Whereas,
right.
right, so, but however, I do think we should dive straight into days, just
Yeah.
because there was
Just
so
because.
much.
Yes.
Days
Just
of
because.
our lives took my breath away.
Yes.
Y'all sure y'all want to leave the leftovers for the young and the restless?
Well, we can go through Y&R first if you prefer. We can.
I
I'll
think
leave
that
it.
I'm
might be a
ready to
good
do that
idea.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Y&R today was Y&R today was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because today's theme was people. If I like to look at episodes, and I like to believe in my heart that if the writers are competent, that maybe they actually come up with a theme for the show on a given day. And today's theme, if there was one on Y&R,
Mm-hmm.
was off my chest, because several people had things to get off their chest and they did not hesitate. First up, we had Nicholas swinging himself by the Newman Media office and telling Nate just exactly what he thinks of him being in this job.
What?
Well, basically, he basically was like, "Look, Nate, not for nothing. I didn't know you a long time because and you forget that sometimes because of how they slate the black characters on YNR, where they put them in this the little Winter's Wednesday corner of the world, and you forget that all these people actually kind of sort of grew up with each other in Genoa City for the most part. So he was like, "Look, man, I didn't know you a real long time. I'm gonna be very frank. I was not here for my sister replacing Sally with you. I'm not here for this bullshit about how you got this job because my sister's impressed about how you just stabbed your people in the back.
Right.
And also, I just don't think that this is." He's basically told him you need to be careful because he kind of feels like Nate has gotten a taste of, I guess, burgeoning power, and he doesn't want him to walk down a road that's not exactly great. Remember when, and he made a good point. Remember when Nick started Dark Horse to compete with Newman,
Yep.
and he was a complete asshole?
Yep.
He basically more or less told Nate that, you know what, basically you look like you heading that way. And
God.
yeah. And then Victoria came in on the tail end of that, and she could tell that there was some tension. And Nate, of course, goes ahead and snitches about what happened. Take the house about this from some shit. Nate ain't did nothing, okay? He literally has done nothing at this company yet. But Victoria is sitting up here. You could tell sis is really feeling herself. She got her long skirt on with the slit, and her nice blouse with the couple of buttons at the top undone. Got her hair going a little wild like a lioness. She on the prowl, girl. She on the prowl. And she prowling for Nate ass. Because she said that she got all these wonderful emails from the other division heads talking about how they're so happy that Nate's on board and they look forward to working with him. It's like, so you're up here to blow smoke up his ass about complimentary emails for work he hasn't even done yet? Okay. And then she popped up and said that she wants to take him out to LA next week to meet their heads of office out in LA.
Ooh la la. She gonna take her boo to La La Land. What?
Good. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to LA. Going to LA for what, ma'am? So I'm looking to see. I am looking to see if this trip stays as strictly business because I know for one thing Nathaniel is not taking Elena with him.
And you know what? And Victoria can't keep her legs closed. Victoria is so not chaste. She
She
would have
thirsty.
busted that down wide open in a heartbeat.
Well, y'all know it's been a minute since she had a man.
How long has it been?
Ashlyn.
Since
Since Ashlyn. Mm-hmm. And soap time, that's significant. At least for
Yeah, that's
Victoria
been a
Newman.
while.
Anyway.
Ashland hasn't been a topic of conversation for a while.
Exactly.
they killed him.
Yeah,
She didn't even get no.
unceremoniously.
She didn't even get
Mm-hmm.
no
It
cut by
didn't.
pain off of him.
It didn't even result in a big storyline. I mean,
No.
Ashland being dead was like swept under the rug. It's like crazy.
And
Right.
now
Now,
they're bringing in this new guy who sounds just the same way that they described Ashlyn. It's like I'm not even gonna get
I
excited.
swear they better not shit the bed on this one.
Jeremy Bush, Jeremy Stark. I'm not even getting excited over him at all.
Mm.
Because we got excited over Ashlyn,
Right.
the Loch Ness monster. Oh my God, he's worse than Grandpa.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
And
And
look
this
what
and that's what
had
they did. That's
and
crazy.
look what had happened to Ashlyn Locke. So I'm
Not
not
a
excited over Jeremy Stark, who rhymes with Ashlyn Locke at all. Maybe he'll end up having sex with Nikki.
Well, we did we picked back up with Devon and Abby and their foolishness. So
Ugh.
Abby brought the baby over to Devon and they decided to sit down and have a talk. Long story short, even Abby had to admit that even though her and what Devon did wasn't intentional, they both didn't regret it. And she kind of feels like they both are making excuses for what they did. Her talking about how, her and Chance have had this distance, and him talking about the distance between him and Amanda. Yeah, all that shit is excuses. And them heifers. Now Abby sitting up here trying to figure out how she could convince Chance not to end their marriage. And while Abby and Devon talking, they lean in and almost kiss, if not for that baby crying.
Mm. Wow.
Right.
So I'm sitting here going, Abby, how can you fix your mouth to be worried? Pretend like you worried about your marriage. You about to kiss the man all over again. You
Because she
don't
bought
give
that
a
D.
exactly. Just admit it. You already got it once. You might as well go back for it again. And Chance wants to be done with you anyway. Because the
Right.
great Victor Newman had the nerve to come roll up on Chance and Crimson Lights today.
About
And
what?
about Abby, I quote, he sat in front of Chance and asked him, "What did you do to my daughter?"
Mm.
I'm sitting over here like, Victor, you need to be asking who did what to your daughter, because he knows that there's trouble in their marriage and it looks like it's ending, but he doesn't know the details. So Chance, being a decent man, because let me tell you something. If your spouse catches you screwing somebody else, they don't owe you no decency. They don't owe you no privacy about your triflingness. I would be taking out ads about your ass if it was me. I would be skywriting that somebody that he's a whore in the sky if I walked in on my man doing what Abby was doing with Devon. But Chance sitting up there being a gentleman, protect and serve. He basically tells Victor he's not comfortable, getting into it with him. And then Victor pop up and say, well, maybe I should go talk to Devon. And Chance eyebrows kind of go up. Why would you want to go talk to Devon? And he says, well, when I saw Abby at Thanksgiving, she looked kind of down. But then when she was talking to Devon, I saw that, she seemed like she was kind of relieved. So maybe he knows what's going on with her. And he's like, look, girl.
Wait,
Well,
because I missed it today. This is taking me out, y'all.
Yes, literally. The mustache sitting here talking about how his daughter looked relaxed talking to Devon. I wanted to say, bro, if you just knew how relaxed she was with Devon, you'd be having fits.
Oh, y'all, I can't breathe behind that.
I see Chance is good because I'd have been like, yeah, you need to go talk to Devon. Actually, go talk to him right now. And go see him. Don't even call. Just
I
swing
would
by.
have been like, sir, your daughter is a whore, and that's why I ran away from home the first damn time.
Exactly.
I see this shit coming.
I mean, Victor actually said, "What's going on?" And I was like, "Chance, just say it. Your daughter's a thought." But of course, they're not gonna play it like that. So Chance fell on his sword, and yes, Electra Storm, you got that right. Open legs, relax. She was indeed. So
He
Chance,
said, your daughter's a whore, but I can't tell you that.
pretty much. So he threw himself on his sword. He basically says that he loves Abby, but that the best thing he can do is to let her go because there's just too much distance between them. They got married too fast. They didn't live together long enough. Stuff that's actually true, but not the reason why things kind of went to hell. And
Right.
so Victor's like telling Chance, family is worth, it's worth fighting for your family, for your marriage. So you should really, I'm sorry to hear that. So then after he leaves, Abby shows up at Crimson Lights and she sees Chase and she goes over to talk to him. And Chase tell him, look, your daddy was over here, but I didn't tell him you was a hoe.
Mm.
And
And by the way, I want a divorce today.
yeah, pretty much. He said there was no reason for them to, him and her delay it. They might as well get the divorce immediately.
He don't want her to have no kind of hope of some kind of reconciliation. He said, no, what's gonna happen is I've already got my people to draw up some papers. I just want you to sign this shit so we can move on.
Pretty much, and get the hell out of my house.
Yeah, he is not carrying, and he ain't giving her no kind of ma'am, you got to go. I don't know where you going. Devon has a house. You go over there with your baby. And I'll see y'all later, but you can't stay here.
She got every last name of every major family in this city. She will be okay. She'll find a place to land.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Other things they did have some follow up with Chelsea living over living over Crimson Lights and Billy popping by to see her. Sally told Chloe that she did not accept the loan for Nick because she doesn't want to open up a fashion line. She has another business venture she wants to do, but she wants to do it, on their own. She doesn't want money from Nicholas because of their personal relationship. Um, and that also, Billy did mention to Chelsea that, since she's going through this, she needs to really reach out to her support system, and that includes Chloe. So she calls Chloe to come see it, and she basically busts down and tell her everything that actually happened. And of course, Chloe is gobsmacked. She did not realize that Chelsea was in, that kind of emotional distress, and she's sorry that, she wasn't there for her. I will say two things I'm not happy about with Chloe is that, one, I did not like the fact that she's like, how could you turn down Nick's offer without consulting me first? I'm like, Heifer, he was lending the money to Sally, not to you. Okay, so she could turn down the money if she wants to, and if she doesn't want to take money from a man that she's sleeping with for business, well, and she wants to keep her personal life and her professional life separate, that's up to her. And I can already see where we going with this is that whatever this business idea that Sally has, I bet you any money Chloe is going to insist that they need to hire Chelsea, and I'm just not for that shit at all. Because Chelsea and Sally don't need to be working together in any capacity.
No,
No.
I don't like the idea of
Period.
that either. I
Me
just
neither.
definitely don't. I don't like Chloe.
I used to like Chloe, but she be getting on my nerves these last few years, mainly because they don't have her doing nothing but doing second banana shit.
That and yelling at Billy Steele about the not Billy Adam Steele
Adam,
Adam about Delia and not giving Billy his rations over because he the one that left the baby in the car at the end of the day, and I'm gonna stand by that. Fight your mama.
Yeah,
and
we all stand on that. I
now the
don't know who
most
don't stand on that. He should have
I
never
do too.
left her in the fucking car. How you gonna go take a kid for ice cream and don't let them pick the fucking ice cream?
Right.
Ain't that the truth? And yes, Chloe
That
has
don't make
gotten
no damn
annoying.
sense.
So I don't know where all this shit is going. But the most interesting part, aside from Victor Newman's rolling up and trying to find out what happened to his daughter marriage and Chase not saying she's a hoe, was Billy and Lily sat down and had a very ugly conversation.
It was
Oh,
so
I
ugly.
was
I
laughing.
saw
I
that.
said he
It was
not
ugly.
It
face.
was.
Wait, did y'all catch it?
I did. I don't know
Oh,
how I caught it. I don't know how the
bad.
hell I end up watching that foolishness with Billy and Lily because I would have bust him in his head to the White
I would
House.
have kicked this Lily good. Because here's the thing, Lily is a passive aggressive mess who this is one of the reasons why Drusilla dying when she was still in her formative early years was a problem. Because Drew would have told her you should have just whooped his ass and got it over with. Literally, you should have told him what was all gotten off your chest and just did that shit. Because the way that Billy jumped stupid with her when here's the thing, I thought Lily was completely right. She was right. She basically told him that, look, first of all, we're supposed to be sitting down talking. You were late getting here, and then while I'm sitting here talking to you about us, you keep checking your phone in case Chelsea needs something. Bro, you're not trying to have a relationship. You're not trying to keep your woman if that's what you're doing. And so he basically tells her, Chelsea got other people in her life to support her. Okay, she's got Chloe, she's got Adam, she's living above Sharon's coffee shop, and Sharon's the one with the goddamn psychiatry degree. So she's got a support system. So you being this hyper focused and acting like she can't move forward without you is you avoiding focusing on your own life and your own goddamn problems. And she basically busted him down like that. She said point blank, you're chasing your next high, and the next high right now is you being Billy the Savior. I said, and you got that shit right. Because that's what Billy is. Billy is an addictive personality. And addictive personalities always they find other things to be addicted to when they when they decide to stop being addicted to whatever their thing of choice is, whether it's alcohol, whether it's gambling, whether it's cigarettes, whether it's online gaming, they just switch focus. And that's pretty much what Lily told him. But then here he came back with that, and the shades of Billy Victoria I got from his half of the conversation made me sick, because Billy basically told her that, if you don't need, basically he's like, I don't need you to save me, and if I don't need you to save me, then there's just nothing in it for you apparently.
Right. That's what got me. That's what got me.
I was like,
So
wait.
what are you gonna do if I don't need to be saved? Like, Lily. I'm sorry, Lily.
It's okay.
Lily needs to drop that loser. Billy
Quick.
Abbott has always been a loser. Billy Abbott has always been a screw up. Billy Abbott screws up his own life royally, and anybody else that hitches their cart to him.
And the thing is, Victoria been working my last nerve for like the last 2 years straight. But you know what? She told Lily Ass this would happen. She told her this ages and ages ago, that this is how it would be with Billy at some point. And you know what? She was right. She was
Sure
absolutely
was.
right.
Sure was.
Because
Always gonna be right. I used to root for Billy when
mm,
Billy Miller's Billy.
hmm
I used to root for him. I used to be like, okay, yes, Billy is a screw up. I know. But
but we love
he
him.
could be better. He could do better. He could be right. I wanted him to be so right. That was the best Billy for me. I wanted him to be so right, and I finally got it. He's never going to be right. He's always going to be the screw up.
So really quick, you guys,
Mhm.
before we get too far into this, I completely forgot what day today was, and I had an appointment at 7:30 that I still have to keep. So you guys continue with the show. I'm gonna leave at 7:30, but the show can go without me. But I'll be back before it ends. And since we've already glossed over General Hospital, there's nothing else to cover except for Y&R and Day. So
Mm-hmm.
y'all don't need me. I'll still be listening, but nobody
Okay.
else can come in because I will not be here. I mean, I'll be here within earshot, but I won't be fast, if that makes sense.
I
Mm-hmm.
got you. Go
Awesome.
You
ahead,
got to.
girl. Life don't stop just because we got soaps to chat about. And the fashion
Mm-hmm.
soap can kiss my ass because I got everything I needed from the tag. And it just makes me happy that I stopped watching when I did.
Well, I just like to make sure that y'all know what's going on in case I go completely silent. And then you're like, what happened to her? Did she die? No, I didn't. I just went on mute for a minute.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Well, yeah, so Billy, I mean, we already knew as soon as we heard Daniel was being, brought back. We already knew what was coming Lily's way, because the thing is, Lily and Billy have been falling apart for a long time now. They
Mhm.
have officially been falling apart ever since Chancecom went down the tubes, and that was before Christmas last year.
Mm.
I feel like they started going down the minute they decided that they was gonna work together.
That's exactly what happened, because see, at Chancecom they were equals. Okay, they were like co-CEOs. That's how Jill set it up. But then when Billy got involved with all that foolishness with Ashlyn, and the damn note that he didn't get verified, and Jill had to sell the company, she felt like Billy couldn't be trusted because he lets his own personal vendettas, control his decision making. So
Mhm.
she made Lily the CEO of Chancellor, and said that she could have Billy as her COO. And we all knew from the second that happened that Billy was not going to be happy with that. And that was before the whole let's merge with Winters Hamilton and all this other stuff. He wasn't happy from Jump Street.
Right, because he went straight in the closet. I'm just gonna go over here and do a podcast. He went straight in
Mhm.
the closet, and that's where he lived, grumbling like he was damn Batman, giving the 411 on the goings on in Gotham. That's
Exactly.
like a damn child.
Exactly. And Lily could tell that, yeah, Stefan, we on wine all we I didn't already recap 75% of it.
Mhm.
So it was so that's the thing. Billy has been on this trajectory of unhappiness, of unsettledness about his place in the world ever since Chancecom went down. So And even though, and people kept asking Lily, are you sure that, you being the CEO and him working for you isn't going to damage your relationship? And Lily, the bubble-headed fool that she is, was like, of course it's not going to be an issue. We're going to be working together. We're going to be building something. It's going to be great. No, honey, it could never be great because Billy Newman cannot deal with powerful women.
Girl,
Oh
Bill,
no. Oh, Stefan, we ain't even hit days yet. We decided to do Y and R because days is just gonna be, it's gonna be a minute.
Yes, honey.
So yeah, Billy cannot deal with women in, how can I put it? He can't deal with women in dominant women, I guess you could say. Women who don't need him, so to speak. Billy is somebody who needs to be needed. Some people, some characters are just like that. Women who don't need, who they don't feel like they're needed, they can't sustain those relationships. And that seems to be Billy's pattern, that once he feels like he's not needed, the relationship is just going to fall apart and crumble, and he'll get distracted by the next shiny thing. And right now his shiny thing is him being hyper focused on Chelsea way more than he should be, because even Lily said it. Lily said, you're not a trained counselor or nothing like that. And
Hmm.
yes, while I appreciate the fact that you want to be there to help her because you've gone through the kind of, you feel like you've gone through the kind of darkness she's gone through, she has to be able to navigate through this herself to get herself back to her normal stance in life. And she's not going to be able to do that with you holding her hand. It's specifically because here's the thing, her and Adam have a child together. That's never going to change. They have Connor. So her relationship with Adam is never going to be compatible with her and Billy being too close, because he can't keep his own personal judgments about Adam out of what he tells her half the time. It always creeps in there. His hate for Adam is all encompassing, and you know what? Fine. He's free. He is free to hate Adam for the rest of his life. He does not have to ever like Adam a day in this world. But I don't think it's in Chelsea's best interest, and I don't even like Chelsea, for Billy to be the most on-site person with her, because he can't be objective when it comes to one of the people who is a part of her support system.
Is Adam actually supporting Chelsea though?
He is, as far he is, well, not like in a interpersonal you me way. He's being supportive as Connor's father, okay?
Okay.
As far as, how they handle things, how they message things with Connor, so that he understands what happened, and so that he doesn't get any more affected by this than he needs to. And yes, he's there, he's being supportive of her. He is being supportive of her recovery, of trying to be there for her. I mean, because, well, he doesn't hate Chelsea. They have a kid together, and yeah, he loves her very much, and he does want to see her get better. So he's there for her for whatever she really needs from him. But the thing is, Billy doesn't, even today when Lily was saying that, Chelsea has her own support system. She has Chloe. She has Sharon. She has Adam. He's like, yeah, she has Adam, and he's really stepped up. But I really want to be there. I'm like, look, bro, look, Adam. I get Adam is the devil in your world. I understand that, and I get why. But you can't superimpose that over everything. It's like, and the thing is, of course, that's like that with him, and that's like with Chloe. Like, even when Chloe was talking to Sally today, and Chloe is sitting up here talking like Adam knew, like Nick Newman then hung the moon. Like, he is the perfect man in this universe, and Sally is insane to even be considering anything other than him as her best option. And I'm
Why?
sitting
Why
over,
Chloe care? What is it to Chloe?
oh good, oh honey, yes. When Sally was still trying to figure out what was going on with her and Adam, and trying to figure out why their relationship got tanked and what the hell Adam was up to. All Chloe cared about was making sure that they didn't get back together. She's still like that now.
So
She
wait a minute.
despises Adam. She does not want Sally going back with Adam under any circumstances. That's probably why Chloe ain't told Adam. I know that's why Sally is not going to tell anybody, especially not Chloe, that Adam got drunk and proposed to her.
Wait, Adam got drunk and proposed to Sally?
Oh, girl, yes, last week it was hilarious. Sally went out to Noah's club or hotel, whatever the hell that shag carpet hellhole is from the 70s. And they were out having a time. Sally was looking like $1 million, and Adam Newman had came his ass in there and saw them over there having a good time, and he sent them over a drink and asked to talk to Sally. And so Sally was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go talk to him. What's up?" Adam said a whole bunch of stupid shit he shouldn't have said because he had way too much whiskey and scotch or whatever the hell it was he drunk, and he even asked the girl to marry him.
Mm.
And Sally's mouth was open like, "Boy, what? How you up in here asking me to marry you? 3 sheets to the wind. Your brother standing over there. What is wrong with you?"
Child.
Yeah,
Sally got Adam gone.
Adam's
So we
sprung. Adam's down bad.
the only time I remember Adam acting like this was with Sharon.
It was, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Electra Storm is right. It was embarrassing. But I think we get something a bit more tame tomorrow when Sally and Adam have a conversation. And then wait, that wasn't enough. Even after, because we were off last week because of the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
After that happened, and Nick, and she went home and Nick left, and she was in her room, Adam showed his ass up to her room.
Stop
Mm-mm.
it.
Yes, he did. To
Was he
tell
drunk or
her
sober?
he was half drunk. Yes.
Mhm.
And so she was like, and he was basically pleading his case to her about how he can't understand for the life of him how she's walking away from the magic that they have because they are meant to be.
But he walked
They,
away.
yeah, well, that's the thing. Yes, he walked away. He's apologized for it, but the problem is this: Adam, when he's talking to Sally, he's doing a good job until he starts talking about his goddamn brother. The second he brings Nick's name up, he ruins everything. Adam has got to steer away from bringing Nick up in the conversation
Well, they're
because
not going to, because that's
I
what it seems like. Y&R is doing a good job of having multi layers going on in these teams.
they
Because
do.
clearly, just like Adam, I'm sorry, Billy can't have a conversation with Chelsea without bringing that underneath that underlying rage for Adam. I like the depth, and the same here. I like the depth. I
It's
like these layers and other things going on. So Adam truly does love Sally, but at
he
the
does.
same time, he despises his brother, and both of those
Yes,
things
he's
are
resentful.
play into everything that he does. Y&R is absolutely doing a good job, and this is me from a bystander that don't even watch the show.
Mhm.
I appreciate that they have these layers going on with the characters. It's depth. I like it.
So do I. And the thing is, Adam said something last week that he apologizes to Sally for tomorrow, which I'm grateful for. He basically passed a comment to her that basically was saying that, you and Nick are just sex anyway. And she was like, "Bitch, what? You done rolled up in here drunk after you proposed to me with no ring to tell me that me and your brother are just sex. Oh, thank you so much for that." Mm, He
Well, he might have been
apologizes.
drunk, but he was telling the truth.
He apologizes for saying that to her tomorrow, just because, dude, if you're trying to convince somebody that you're the right one for them, telling them, well, my brother's just with you for the sex is not a good way to win
Yeah,
that fight.
yeah.
So
I'm listening to it in man speak. I'm literally translating it in man speak. Basically, what Adam is saying is that Nicholas does not love you the way that I do. When you're with Nicholas, you don't feel what you feel when you're with me. So Sally probably got mad at his delivery, but I'm Team
yeah,
Adam on
she
that
did.
whole line.
Well, and here's the thing. Adam is still, then that's the thing. This is why Nick is going to end up the loser in this, if because on paper, because Sally is still, newish to GC, and she doesn't know the fact that, Nick's real name is Dickolas Newman, not Nicholas Newman. She's not aware of, his foibles and his colorful, sketchy past when it comes to women and his taste for infidelity. So on paper, yeah, he looks like he's the stable Newman brother. We just know that that's not true when it comes down to romance and him and his wandering peen. So But the thing is, you would think that with that kind of a comparison, it would be a slam dunk based on what's happened between Adam and Sally and what's happened between Nick and Sally, and the fact that basically Nicholas is batting 0 for 100 as far as
Yeah.
she's concerned. But the thing is, she can't get Adam out of her spirit. And that's the way it's supposed to be.
Right. Because she shouldn't have. Sally immediately rebounded with Nicholas because it was Nick's fault, from what I could see. He was just right there, all ready and willing to sop up the gravy that Adam left on his plate. So
Hmm.
she just had absolutely no time to really react to her breakup with Adam.
Not really. It was actually a pretty short amount of time, especially because she didn't get any, they didn't even clear up why he really broke up with her until after her and Nick slept together. And then by that point, it was kind of a moot point because I keep posting it and I'm gonna stay posting it about Adam catching hell from Sally on this. Was I'm like, he brought this on himself. Sally told his ass in July when he dumped her that you're making a mistake, and by time you figure out you screwing us up, I'm it's gonna be to the point where you're gonna want to get back together, and I'm not gonna want to get back together, and it's just gonna be tragic. And that's kind of sort of what Adam is seeing. Sally was serious when she said that, and that was long before Nicholas Newman showed her the kind of interest he's been showing her the last couple of months. Because so I'm okay with Adam having a hard with Sally giving him a hard time because he has it coming after that foolishness, especially because it all ended up for nothing. Because Victoria still fired her because she busy trying to go take Nate for a ride.
Yeah, yeah. Um, this is where I'm at with this Sally situation with Nicholas. Um, in my opinion, Nicholas is the villain here. He is the absolute villain because Nick does not love Sally like that. What
No, he
Nick
doesn't.
loves is being with Sally because, hey, who wouldn't? And he loves that it irks the hell out of Adam. He loves that
Hmm.
more than he loves being with Sally. So,
Part of it is that and the thing is, it's also because you know how Nick is. Nick has white knight syndrome. He likes to be this guy who comes to the rescue, so to speak. And he feels like he's done that in this Sally situation. So I'm sitting over here like, bruh, it's all fine and well to say I'm coming to the rescue, but at some point you're gonna have to realize some of these women don't need to be rescued. Sally doesn't need to be rescued from Adam. That's actually Nick and Chloe's major problem is they think Adam is this toxic situation that Sally just needs to avoid under any circumstances, and I'm gonna need both of them to mind their business,
that's what
and
I
for
was going to
Nick
say.
to and for Nick to take a step back. Because first of all, one, I thought he was trifling to be sleeping with a woman he knew his brother was in love with anyway. But that's
Exactly.
just me.
Exactly. And that's why he's the ultimate villain. He's the ultimate villain in this. Sally is in love with Adam. Adam is in love with Sally. Nick is in love with screwing over Adam. He's the villain.
Exactly. So, I mean, the thing is, I'm just sitting back and enjoying the journey just because Sally Spectra is living the dream that I have dreamed for many.
Yeah.
She actually is the only character who escaped from the fashion soap and landed somewhere where she is actually treated like the prize that she is. She
Yep.
has the first and second born sons of Victor freaking Newman
Yep.
scowling and scrapping over her fine Malibu ass.
Hmm.
Damn right. Go ahead, Sally. Get your life. Enjoy the ride, but you're going to still get to your destination, whatever it is.
You know that this has been the dream for many Sally fans.
It has.
Sally could never catch a damn break.
Ever. Not as long as she was across the hall. But over here, things are a bit different. Now they do say Victor is going to get involved in this situation because he does not like his sons fighting. And the thing is, he can't tell Adam shit because Adam ain't talking to him no damn way. But so he's going to approach Nick, and that was what the center of the promo is. But the upcoming spoilers have basically said that that Victor is going to start to poke around into Sally's past. Now, what past he's gonna poke around in, I don't know, but all I know is this much. Wyandotte could try me by trying to bring up anything related to the felon or the other lesser Spencer brother, and I'm just gonna, they ain't gonna like me on the tag. I'll be like, I don't want to hear nothing about them people. Say whatever Sally did, she was right. Don't tell that. That's it. Now, what I would prefer though is, because we never really got that much information on Sally's parents.
Yeah.
I'd really like it if Josh Griffin could take a little liberty and maybe dig into that. Because remember in 17, when Sally did drop some information about her parents, basically the only information we got was that her parents were con artists, were the next set of con artists in the long line of specters who were con artists, and that they got involved in some heavy shit that was so heavy that her and Coco could not stay with them, and that's how their grandmother Shirley ended up raising them.
Right.
So I would really prefer that if Victor is gonna go dipping into Sally's past, that it be around something related to that rather than the shenanigans in LA, which ain't even worth mentioning.
Well,
Especially
I wondered
because
if it
Adam
is
already knows
Sally's.
about them.
So I thought Sally's parents, Sally and Coco's parents, had passed away. They didn't.
No, okay. So, because we actually had a discussion about this in a Sally chat. So, no. Back in 2017, when Sally was first introduced on that fashion soap, she had this conversation in March of 17 with the grandson of Saul. You remember old Saul who used to work for Sally?
Yep.
Well, his grandson was working for our Sally Spectra. And during that conversation, he asked her about, her parents and, how come it was that Shirley was the one who raised them. Well, at that time, Sally basically told him that her parents were carnies, and they were, and that like all specters, trouble follows specters and we follow it, and that her parents were always running scams, and they got pretty involved in something that they got way over their heads with. And she put it like this: it got to the point where they could no longer take care of me and Coco, so that's when we went to go live with my with Grams, with Shirley. So we never really got much detail on what exactly it was that Sally's parents did, how far out of her life they and Coco's life they were. But I would prefer that if Victor's gonna start digging for reasons for why Sally Spectra shouldn't be involved with his sons, go ahead and dig back there, because I'm not interested in a rehash of the felon in the pantyhose or nothing, because as far as I'm concerned, she could still be tied to that damn radiator.
Yeah, that would be something because Victor Newman has kidnapped many. I mean, that would be so small potatoes to bring to Genoa City. I mean,
And
even I mean,
it's not even a
Phyllis is,
secret.
yeah, Phyllis is attempted to kill folk, hit and run, got all this. I mean, that's really small potatoes to even bring to Genoa City. So, if Victor is going to go digging into Sally's past,
Hmm.
let's hope and pray that Josh Griffin really does get some liberty and he can give us what we never got for Sally Spectrum, the background and family that we deserve.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not pinning too many hopes on it, because I know the situation is fluid. I know that Josh Griffin can't actually just do what he wants. He actually needs to get approval for this stuff, because the character actually, is a creation from that idiot across the hall.
Yeah,
But
he
I'm
we
really,
know he still owns he still owns her,
yeah. So
which is
I'm
so definitely so sad because listen guys, listen, this is a detour, but could you imagine that dragging her back from Y&R back to the fashion show? How devastating that would
oh,
be. Literally,
it would break my heart.
I mean, it would be like a death. I
Sam,
mean,
it would be
truly.
like sending her to prison. It would be like somebody sentenced the girl to San Quentin. What you Supermax jail? What you gonna do that to us for? There's nothing in LA for Sally Spectre in any shape, way, or format. So that would just be absolutely devastating to me.
Yeah. I mean, literally, it terrifies me. The thought of it, it literally just sent the shudder. Like, wow. I mean, at any time, he could, pull the plug and be like, send her back.
Well, I'm hoping that he would not do that strictly because A1, there ain't nothing for her to do in LA any damn way. They're not doing nothing with the people they got in LA. So sending her back over there would be pointless. And two, and this is the other really important part, Josh Griffin actually really, really likes the character. That's why she's sitting here in the middle of a row of a triangle with two Newmans.
Well,
Okay, so
what's
he.
not to like about the character? I mean, really, she's fantastic. I mean, a prototype of the great Sally Spectra.
Exactly. So for Josh Griffin to put this kind of effort into her, I'm going to err on the side of positivity and hope that that means that he's really trying to invest in good story for her. Because up until now, she's pretty much had, okay story. The only thing that pissed me off with her and Adam was that they got so bogged down in this Ashland Locke shit that it took us this long to get to story that's actually about them because of that. So hopefully we don't have any more issues like that since neither one of them are working at raggedy ass Newman Media anyway.
Good. Yeah, I would say so. Excellent. Little detour on Sally.
hmm So, and I think that's pretty much winds us up. Yes, I really wish, yeah, Sally does have a better story on YNR, and I really, 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 really wish that that
She could
Sony
stay
would
there.
buy
I
her
mean,
so she
because
could
I
stay there
mean, listen,
permanently.
right? Because look at this. Look at where Sally sits now. There's nowhere but up. Like you said, she has Newman number one and Newman number two right now. Right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I mean, there's nowhere to go but up from here. Period.
Pretty
I mean,
much.
she,
Yeah.
she is up there. Our Sally. Our Sally is no more the one you look down on. You know how they treated her over there across the hall? People like
hmm
she was scum under people's feet. You was disgusting. But now our Sally is where she belongs.
at the top with the man on top with her pick. Because really,
That's right.
and that is the part that I love. Because here's the thing: the fashion soap gave me PTSD for triangles, but female centered triangles that make sense is a whole different kettle of fish. Who
Yep.
doesn't want a story where two men, even brothers, are scrapping over the same female?
Yep. You won't even understand how excited I got when Trip and Joey on days, and I don't even know Joey, and to be honest with you, I have no attachment to Joey at all. I see him and it's just like who he. But my interest got piqued when it appeared that he and Trip were going to be fighting over Wendy. I agree. I think that's classic to me. Boys
Exactly.
fighting over girls. That's the way it's freaking supposed to be.
Yes, it is. So see, so my thing is, even though everybody has their own opinion, me myself, I think Nicholas is the journey and Adam is the destination. That's where my marker is on this one because he's the one who really loves her. And I'm here for Sally to enjoy the journey.
Yes, that
Either
means
way.
enjoying Nick Newman and all the perks of dating Nicholas Newman.
And even the negatives because Nick is he's the next generation. He is primed and he's going to be the next Victor Newman, just not quite as Victor Newman-y. He's the future of YNR, so a part of the future of YNR. So her being involved with him is a positive thing, not just because it's entertaining because the actors are good at it, but also because it's a
Yes,
good thing for her character.
yes, it is a fabulous thing for her character. How can she come? You can't bring her down from this. It would be a crime to bring Sally down from where she is down to a place where she would be groveling and fighting over a loser.
Shit on that. Mm-mm. Did that. We did that. Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt, the keychain, and the flip
And
flops.
the PTSD.
And I don't ever want to see that again in life. Period. The only thing they could do for me, which of course they won't do, is to send Thomas to LA and give me a shot at that version of Tally that I never got a shot at.
Oh my
Anything less
God.
than that, then I don't want to hear it.
You know, we were robbed. We were robbed so bad of Tally
Yes, we will.
2.0. We were robbed. I mean, like it was a cruel robbery too. I mean, they kicked the door in, rushed us so fast, put the gun in our face, made us lay down, and before we could even exhale, they was at the door. And our Tally was a done deal. It was a wrap. It was never gonna happen. And it was. Did y'all see those Yeah, everybody saw the promo shoots of Thomas and
Hmm.
Sally. I remember those promo shoots. Like, when is they gonna give this to us? When?
They
We
was
never
playing with
got it.
our emotions. And now,
Oh,
and now I can't even get Matt Atkinson on that show because he was already a character who died. And
as
why and all
Austin.
don't be doing that shit that General Hospital do, where they
Yeah.
take where they take the same actor and make them three different people.
Mm-hmm.
Like how
Yep.
we done had all three of well, how we done had all the previous Carlys be somebody else. Claudia
Yeah, I heard
Durachi
about
and
that on
Kim
G. I,
Nero.
that would be so freaking confusing to me. But they do it the same on days, like Stefan and Jake. All those doppelgangers on days. So I guess I could get used to it. Now,
Yeah.
turning the table on days.
Yes, yes, that wraps us up for wine. Oh, we've got to get today's because today was exposition day, baby.
Girl, wasn't it? I mean, literally, I'm sitting down and it's like, okay, Nicole, and she was beautiful. Let me tell you something. I am impressed more and more every day about the look and feel of Days of Our Lives since they have gone to Peacock. The
Mm-hmm.
wardrobe has improved 1,000%. Hair and makeup on freaking point. Even the sets look better. Even the sets I hate look better. So I was okay. So we open up
Let's
today
see.
with Nicole.
Oh, hold on one second. Electra Storm. Stabby wasn't on together, but Gabby was on with Lee and Stefan was on with EJ and Chloe. So technically they were on, just not together. Continue, Sam.
Oh, to that point though, the end of the show is when Gabby approached in the square and saw Stefan with Chloe. So I'm pretty sure tomorrow, Days of Our Lives is going to lean into now. Gabby is going to confront Stefan and Chloe at the square like she always does, and they're gonna have some heated argument that's always foreplay. But
Mm-hmm.
that was at the end of the show today. But it opened up with Nicole, and it was exposition day. And I remember,
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I kept tweeting. It looks like it's foundational family day or foundational relationships day because everybody seemed to go home or to a
Mm-hmm.
home type person, or they ride or die and have these deep conversations. So it starts out with Nicole getting a call from Eric, and it was kind of short and brief. Eric is happy and excited. Nicole is weary and scared, and didn't mention that she had that conversation with Jada. Hurry up and ushered Eric off the phone. Eric absolutely felt the cold shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
but he didn't really read a lot into it. So, because he's just like, okay, she's trepid and Jada's pregnant, but he's kind of, this guy
He's
is actually happy. He just
yes.
reunited with the love of his life, the woman he's always wanted. And also at the same time found out that he has a baby on the way with another woman that he absolutely wants to have.
Because it's
So,
the best of both worlds for Eric because he gets to have a child, but he also gets to have Nicole. So as
yep,
far as he's concerned, he's batting 0 for 1,000. This is a win-win situation for him, and why wouldn't it be?
life doesn't get any better for Eric right now.
So he thinks.
Correct.
Now, one thing I will say, I really enjoyed the conversation between Nicole and Chloe for several reasons. Because
Let me
here's the
tell you
thing.
something before you
Oh, go
even
ahead.
get into it.
Oh, sure, sure.
That was when I've started going into the exposition, like the highlight of the freaking exposition. That conversation wrapped up and included everything that had been going on in a couple of two or three storylines.
Yes, it
Um,
did.
uh, of course, Eric and Nicole and Jada, Chloe and Brady and Kristen. Also, all that exposition, and it was done fun. And realistically, between two people that we recognize as best friends
Mm-hmm.
that do ride or die shit together, though those two always come together to cross Kristen. So
Yes, they
this
do.
was that whole conversation and that whole exposition I felt was incredibly and remarkably scripted and acted.
Yes, because Days has they have so much experience at running multiple storylines parallel to each other, and they don't waste time because they only have oh so long. Okay, once you take out the ads and everything, they only got like 38 minutes of actual screen time
She's
right
like
now.
38 minutes.
Right. So they have to wrap these stories up or wrap these stories together and connect them to one another so that they can move two stories along in a scene with just one or two characters rather
And
than
in this
having to. Mhm.
and in this case, it in Chloe's exposition, she pretty much wrapped up the ending of Chloe and Brady. And
Yeah.
that's been wrapped up. But it
Right.
literally caught the audience up because I missed some of that because I
Mhm.
couldn't stand her. So I literally changed the channel. But she wrapped up very well what had happened between her and Brady and Rachel.
Mhm.
She called Kristen the bride of Chucky. And you know, I love Kristen's dirty ass draws. So I was like, at first I inhaled like I was going to say something. And I thought about it and then said, you know what? I fucking allow it. I agree. She is. And I sent out that gif of the bride of Chucky with all that blonde hair and bright lipstick, dark lipstick. And I said, yep, that's my Kristen Demir. So,
Exactly.
and you know, Kristen can't stand, I'm sorry, Nicole can't stand Kristen either. So
Nope.
she throwed her jabs as well. Now, this is when exposition goes right.
It was because part of the not we're not with just Chloe, setting up the fact that me and Brady are over. I've accepted that. I'm moving forward with Stefan, which
Yep.
wraps back into the
The
Stabby
current
story.
story. Yep.
Exactly, but it also gave her and her and Nicole a chance to parallel what they both went through as far as the situation
Baby
of
mamas.
babies mamas and how that works. But what I really appreciated about the conversation was that Chloe, because her and Kristen are friends, she can get her to be more forthright and honest with her than other people can. Because let's
Mm-hmm.
not for nothing, we all know why Nicole went and talked to Jada. We know she
Mm-hmm.
went and the thing is though, if you asked her, she was just trying to be helpful. She
Yep.
was just trying to, give some single mother perspective and all this other bullshit that is not even close to the truth.
Oh,
But Chloe,
she gave so many reasons why. She just thought that it would be the right thing to do to be so helpful and to shed light on some of the things that people don't talk about being a single mom, like late nights and stress and when you're alone and she made mothering out to be like a prison for her.
exactly, she basically was dragging for motherhood. Like, I wish someone had told me all of this. And I'm sitting here like, Heifer, I've been watching you since the 90s. Who you trying to kid? And Chloe was looking at her the same way, and they're friends. She's like, girl, please. That wasn't,
Mm-hmm.
and you think you were the person to have that conversation with her, but that wasn't your place, though. And
She
also, and
even
mhm,
made a statement that I wish someone would have told me about all this. Like, she really made it out like she don't care about her own kid.
that's
You
what a
can't
lot of,
just you can't just get tired and put them back and walk away. She made a comment like that too. It's like, girl, or do you resent your own daughter?
after
Nicole was
all
not
the,
looking pretty today.
no, she wasn't. And it was like, after all the bullshit you went through to get Holly. Okay, after everything that happened, I mean, Case in point, her and Chloe basically almost fell out over the whole Holly situation
Mm-hmm. That's what I heard.
because their kids are half siblings. Since Daniel's dead ass is the father of both the kids, so
Talk
it's
about
like,
half siblings. Mm.
hmm so
Another
she,
exposition. Oh, I'm sorry.
oh yeah, with Eric and Brady, but hold on, but yeah,
Yes.
with Kristen, with Nicole and Chloe finally got her to just say what she had been wanting to say from the start, which is that, hey, I think it's just better for everybody
If
if
they
that
don't have a
baby
baby.
doesn't exist. I'm like, well, thank
Mm-hmm.
you, Nicole. Thank you for finally being honest and saying what you really meant to say from Jump Street.
And she finally said what I wanted her to say too. That she just want to fight for Eric. She's not going to lose Eric now. That's the Nicole I know and love. The one that don't care about nobody but herself.
Hmm.
And she's going to do whatever it takes to get what she wants. And she did. So I have been pleased. Now, after she's has her conversation and she finally admits that she basically advised Jada not to have the baby, Eric is having this conversation with Brady. Now, somebody in the audience, please explain to me because I don't understand how Eric and Brady are brothers.
Okay, I can explain this to you perfectly. Here is how it works. And all of this is Stefano DeVera's fault.
Oh, okay. I love it
Just
already.
like 90% of the things that have happened on this show, it's all Stefano's fault. So here is how it works. Once upon a time, Marlena was married to Roman. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Roman already had one child, Carrie, who is his daughter with Anna, who's married to
Right.
Tony now. Anna didn't want
Right.
to be a mama. So they
Mm-hmm.
had Carrie. Then Marlena got pregnant with twins, Eric and
And
Sammy.
Sammy. Mm-hmm.
Right. So Eric and Sammy basically, once they got a certain age, they sent them off with Marlena's grandparents in in the Midwest or something. And we didn't see them until they became teens again, where when Sammy came back, and then like a year and some change later, Eric came back.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. In between the all of that, when Roman was presumed dead, everybody thought he was dead. Then Roman came back, but it wasn't really Roman, it was John Black, who had
Uh-huh.
been brainwashed to believe he was Roman Brady. So
Mm-hmm.
for like 3, 4 years, John Black was walking around Salem fully believing he was Roman Brady, and everybody bought it too. Marlena did, he did, Sean and Caroline, Roman's parents did. He was Roman. He was raising Eric and Sammy and Carrie with Marlena.
And the audience thought it was Roman too.
Yes, but then
Right.
the real Roman came back. And that just turned us all on our heads. Because the thing is, and I have to give the Cordays credit, they were like, hold on. Okay, so we're going to bring back Wayne as Roman, the original Roman. But god damn it, we ain't letting Drake go. We gonna do so. We keeping Drake. How we gonna keep Drake? I got it. The man with no name. They legitimately pulled a whole Clint Eastwood and made it where John was the pawn. He basically, Stefano had completely wiped his memory, and he didn't even remember who he really was. Once it came out that he really wasn't Roman Brady. So now that Marlena's real husband was back, all kind of hell started to break loose because obviously she still loves her husband Roman, but now she didn't just spent the last few years falling in love with John. Meanwhile, John, now that he knows he's not Roman Brady, is trying to build a life for himself, and he gets involved with Isabella, Victor Kiriakis's daughter. Um, who turned out to be Victor Kiriakis' daughter. She's this really sweet, lovable character. Unfortunately, she has a habit of having fathers and stepfathers that are basically supervillains. That's her only downside because she's such a nice person. Her parents basically ended up being evil. And so the thing is, John then ended up being torn between Marlena and Isabella because he knows Marlena belongs with her husband, Roman, but he loves Isabella. So there's a whole back and forth there, but eventually John and Isabella end up getting married. where things start to fall apart. Because Amaya, I used to love John and Isabella too. But where things really fall apart is Isabella gets deathly ill. And right after she has Brady, because that's who Brady's mother is. So
That's what I
Brady
figured.
is yes, John's son and Isabella's son. And while Brady is still in his infancy, Isabella dies tragically. And Marlena, being Marlena, um, decides
Ended
that
up with
she's
him
going
too.
to be there for John, and she literally helps him raise Brady all the way from infancy to adulthood.
After a while, she's raising Carrie and Roman's. I'm sorry, Anna and Roman's daughter, Carrie.
Right, and her own twins with Roman
Sammy and Brett. Yeah.
and yeah, with
Hmm.
Roman. And so how all of this gets messed up is, of course, eventually everything comes to a head. Marlena and John cannot fight it anymore by the time Sammy and Eric are in their teens. And it just ends up being a whole mess where she has an affair with John. She gets pregnant with
Pregnant with
Belle,
Belle. Hmm.
but she's still married to Roman. Belle is born, and everybody thinks that that's Marlena and Roman's child, except for Sammy, who saw her mother and John screwing on that conference table in Basic Black. That's why that conference table is notorious, because that table has been the first place where basically Sammy's full transformation into the mess that she is began when she
Ooh,
saw her mother and John Black having sex on
that
that
was the
table.
birth of the
As
Sammy villain era.
yes, that is when Sammy fully became the person that the messy heifer she is today. That is where it all started. And since because she knew her mother had been sleeping with John, she had seen it. She realized when her little sister was born, there was a chance that baby wasn't her sister. And like all Horton and Brady girls on this show, she was candy striping at the hospital. And so she realized, because she had just studied Punnett squares in high school science, that she could figure out who Belle's father was if she just knew the blood type of everybody involved. So she dug into the hospital records, got John's blood type, got her dad and Marlena's blood type, and got Belle's blood type, and drew a Punnett square. And she figured out that Belle was absolutely not her dad's daughter, and that if that fact ever came out, it was going to completely ruin her parents' marriage. And so then she tried to sell Belle's ass on the black market, but that's another story.
Yes, child. Because
So,
'cause when we went into the exposition with Brady and Eric, and they
mhm.
came in and was like brother, I was like, okay, I'm not even going to take the time in my mind right now to even try to conjure up how they brothers, and I just will go in ahead and watch the conversation. And I always find it weird that those two could sit there like that and talk about Nicole after both of them done been taking turns with her as long as I've been watching.
That's the thing. Nicole has gotten around. She was married to Lucas. She was married to Victor. Yeah, she's been. I mean, her and Brady weren't really a thing.
Yes, they were. They
Well,
keep
no, no,
returning each
no,
other
oh
to
no, no,
get
no.
well. And that's what
Oh
I
no, 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 no.
don't
Oh no,
like.
they were a thing, but I mean they weren't each other's thing, is what I mean. It's like what they had was like a flash that happened, but they were never suited for each other like that. And they both
But
knew
they
that.
keep flashing. I think is my problem with that. Um I don't mind, Days is gonna get them girls around, and I do not mind. I
Hmm.
find that a little weird to me though, because when I first started watching Days in 2018, I believe Nicole was missing. Yeah, they thought she was dead from some fire or whatever.
Hmm.
But the when she was gone, there was a break between Brady and Eric, because I don't remember if Brady must have slept with Nicole to take her away from Erica, vice versa. I don't know which one was it.
I probably have to think too hard.
When
Anybody
she
on
was,
YouTube know?
because remember, all I remember is because Jennifer Horton, when it was the other Jennifer, was end up sleeping with Eric. Remember, she was dating Eric, and she
Let's
lied about
see.
something. It's so crazy. But anyway, going back to today on days, I don't want to go back
Mhm.
too far in history, but I was
Right.
just confused about their brotherhood. But
But yeah,
essentially,
but
their exposition today was only Eric basically telling Brady his side of it, that he is loving what he's got.
yeah, he is fully and completely satisfied with how this worked out because it's the best of both worlds. He gets the woman he's destined to be with, which is Nicole, and he gets to have the child that he has wanted for so long, especially after how everything went down with him and Sarah and Mackenzie
Yeah.
and the fact that like
And
he's
Nicole
always mhm,
and Nicole knew about that. Nicole
yeah,
knew about that. She's constantly in issue. Oh God, with Eric and these kids, and it's to me, it's like Eric keep getting everybody pregnant but her.
it is. And the thing, and the part about it that kills me is that Nicole knows that of all the things she cannot do for Eric, this is the one thing she can't give him.
Right.
She
Hmm.
cannot give him a child of his own, no matter how much she wants to. Okay, and it's just it's not within her realm of things that she can give him. And so
Right.
now fate has just basically tapped Eric on the shoulder and said, you know what, yeah, you weren't planning on having a kid, but yeah, you can be a father now. And you can, and the thing is, that's the part that makes what Nicole did so cold, is that Eric, even though he took a minute, Eric reassured her of her status with him and the status of their relationship. He didn't, and
But
that was so
that
she
was
told.
after. But he
Mhm.
didn't reassure her until after she had already went to have that conversation with Jada. He actually
Right.
kind of left her hanging, but he didn't dump her either. So
No, he
she
didn't.
felt insecure just by not knowing, by not knowing the future, because she had already, her and Eric had already got back together. She had already left her man, and you know, she knew that Jada saw them kissing. So she,
Right.
even in all that, is so insecure that just over a matter of days, she had to have Eric at her beck and side the whole time, holding her hand, walking her through this, in order to keep her from doing something stupid.
Exactly. And she did exactly what she shouldn't have done because she walked into the Brady pub during when they were having dinner and she heard Eric and Jada announce that they were going to keep the baby and co-parent. She heard that. So it's like, girl, you heard them. And Jada told you that her and Eric ain't a thing like that. She told you that when as soon as you hit her door.
Right.
That so it's like if you're still insecure where the woman is telling you, look, I get it. You love him, he loves you, y'all are still a thing. I don't care. All I know is I'm having a baby and me and him are going to raise it. And that's that. So one is apples and oranges is oranges. You don't need to be tripping. Yet here she was still tripping because in her heart, because she said it. She said it her she finally admitted what her
And said it
real
out her mouth.
motivation
Everything
was
would be
today.
best if there was no
No baby.
baby.
And she also said what her real motivation was
That
that
she didn't want
regardless
to lose
of
Eric.
yes, and because regardless of what Eric says now, that when the child is born, him and Jada are going to fall in love with that baby. Because
Yep.
that's the nature of a parent loving their child. Why wouldn't they love it? But the problem is Nicole's selfishness in this is just that she is afraid that his love for his child will eclipse his love for her, and
And
that
it
he'll
will.
make
And it
yeah,
mhm.
mhm, and that he'll make decisions that he feels are for the best interest of his child, and
Right. Not
not
her.
be in and not her because she's a grown ass woman who can fend for herself, and she doesn't want that to happen, which is
Hmm.
why she went and did that terrible selfish thing and told Jada what she told her. Now,
Yep.
and Eric is just over here over the moon about how perfect his life is about to turn up. Everything's turning up roses. Only for Jada to come in there looking all kind of depressed today. And we both heard the same thing, Sam, when she said there is no baby.
But not
So
before. Brady Black told her that Rachel, and didn't he name another kid,
He
was
said no.
welcoming
I
a
think
cousin?
he said that Rachel's excited to meet her new cousin.
Yes. Now, I loved it that. I ain't love it, I loved it that.
I'm gonna love it because here's the thing. If because this is only gonna go one of two ways. Either Jada spent the morning having a procedure, which
Hmm.
is possible because Days is a hell of a lot more forward thinking than CBS soaps are. So it's very possible that they may have gone ahead and actually allowed this woman to verbalize that she had a termination, which would be very germane considering how that topic is being received in this country right now and the restrictions
And
that people have on that.
listen, and I literally said that in Twitter. I was like, I want this story to go all the way to the door, meaning I wanted her to go all the way to the clinic, be on the table for the nurse to turn on the sucking machine and everything before for the drama, just for the drama. Now,
Hmm.
if they done went ahead and went on ahead and had Jada gone down there, because literally it's in the weeks right now, and they
Hmm.
gave her a pill to take. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
You don't even have to get a procedure that early. This
You
early,
are
you get a
correct.
pill.
You are absolutely right. She could
Home
have gotten a pill
a
for
pill.
this.
And left there, and she supposed to take it easy, but she went home. She didn't go to pub to go out. The pub is where she lives.
Right.
Homegirl could have got that pill, sat there that hour or two, they make you sit, and then went on back to the went tried to go home and ran right into Eric and Uncle Brady.
Now there are two things with that. One, I'm curious to see how they're going to play this because there's either one there are two possibilities I see. Either because keep in mind they kept it very general about her pregnancy, so they've never discussed how far along she was, which I believe was on purpose for just that reason. So if it turns out that something like that did happen and she did take a pill to terminate her pregnancy, there are lots and lots and lots of indicators about when those pills do not take effect and do not work.
Right,
So,
that's why I said early on. Those
right,
pills are only a early on thing.
exactly. So it's very possible that she may have made that decision and taken a pill, and it could always be that it may not take, and that child may, despite that, end up still being a viable pregnancy. Because then, what is Nicole Walker's ass gonna do then?
No, listen. The drama here is in Jada not having the baby.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the drama here is Jada not having the baby. We all have seen 1,000 times on soap operas the other woman have a baby. We've seen this, but
Hmm.
what I haven't seen, because I haven't watched soaps, all of them, from the time they started to beginning to now. But in my watching of soaps, I've seen no terminations, none.
Not
I
many.
want this to have happened. I want her to have terminated for the story. I need it in my life because we just talked about this. Eric is over the
It's
moon. This is where the trauma is.
it's because soaps have this. Soaps used to have this really odd way of treating abortion. Like I remember, I want to say Erica Kane was the first one to get one back in the 70s, and then they had Ashley get one when she was pregnant for Victor. But the thing is, the previous way that they used to script it was that if you got an abortion, something awful happened to you after the fact. Like Ashley got an abortion and she completely lost her mind because she got an abortion. So I'm curious. Oh, to answer your question, Electric Storm. So here's what happened. At the end of the show today, Jada came into the pub and she was talking to Eric. Eric, and she told Eric she needed to talk to him about something. And so he was telling her about, basically how excited he was about the baby and how he ordered some baby books, etc., etc. And Jada stopped him and told him, Eric, there is no baby. And it went off like that. So we
Yep.
don't know exactly what that means. Has she done something? Is it her intention to do something? But she did denote to Rafe when she spoke with him previously after Nicole came over there and dropped that whole stinky load in her face that she had, second thoughts about keeping the baby, that she had decided maybe she shouldn't keep it. So we're waiting with bated breath until
Yes.
first thing tomorrow morning to
First thing.
find out what the hell exactly Jada meant.
That's right. So that was it today for um Eric, Nicole, Jada,
Mhm.
Brady, Chloe. That was fantastic. Now,
Now,
that was a lot of exposition with the bomb at the end, but the action that happened today was with EJ and Ava, Ghost Ava. That's
mhm,
so interesting. I cannot wait to see what's going on with that. So EJ wakes up.
in a
This is the
sweat.
scene. EJ wakes up, thinks it's, Cook is knocking at the door, but no, it's Ava Vitale with her bad bitch self. Oh, love her.
Mhm.
Yes. Taunting EJ, like Bubble said yesterday, she's going to gaslight him. She was absolutely right. But it looked like he was waking up out of a dream. So we know where
Yeah.
we're going with this. EJ's think he's dreaming, but in seeing things, but we know Ava's alive. Now, Bubbles, with her genius self, said that not only is Ava alive and Susan's alive, but Ava has Susan also in the Demira tunnel.
Mhm.
Now, I
I
would
concur.
so love that if that is the case. So EJ was naked and sweaty today, and Ava was in his bedroom. That was definitely a highlight for me.
It was because here's the thing. It goes along with my agenda because here's my thing. One, I know in my heart Ava Vitale is not dead and Susan Banks is not
Correct.
dead. And
Correct.
I need the fact that Susan is not dead to, I guess maybe it might be a Christmas miracle or something because we are coming up to the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I need that to come out because the thing is I need EJ and Ava to happen. They have that visceral, I want to rip your face off aggression towards each other that is just going to bust down into some amazing ass sex.
And there's so much alike. These are two
Yes.
people that kidnaps people, both of them, to one up
Hmm.
with each other. I think that these two would challenge each other in a good way. Let's see if we can have nice things.
See, and here's the thing. That's the thing about days is that they do opposite attract stories, but they also do like birds of a feather flock together really well. And the thing is, EJ is at his heart a scheming Demera, and he needs a female who is just as scheming. It's why him and Sammy were viable for so long
Right.
because they're both that type of person. So that's the type of person they need to be with. EJ, it's like when they fool with EJ and Bell. I was
And
like, okay,
it,
this ain't gonna last.
but
Mm-mm.
EJ and Nicole, that makes sense.
Yes, they do make sense, except EJ is like EJ is like the definition of a bad habit for Nicole.
Well,
that
EJ would be a bad habit for anyone. Do you see EJ?
yeah,
I
he a mess.
mean, hunty, that man is built like a great oak tree.
See, and that's the thing. If out of all the men that Nicole has been involved with, if she was not meant to be with Eric Brady, then her second runner up is EJ.
I
For
would have to
men
agree.
that for the man that Nicole could have had a good long-term relationship with.
Yes.
So,
So EJ wakes up, thinks he's been gaslighted by Ava, comes downstairs. I love today's days because EJ comes downstairs to the living room to Steph and Demira, my
mhm,
Demira men today. Stephen Demira is everything that Jake, whatever his name was, could never be. I'm so
exactly.
glad that I
I
got
was
my
so glad
baby
they killed
Stephen
him. I was
back.
I was so glad they killed him. And
Listen,
the thing is, I said EJ sure do have balls though. his brother sitting up here telling him how sorry he is, and how terrible he knows it is about his mother, about Susan, about what Ava did. And all the time I'm sitting up here like, EJ up here accepting these condolences, knowing damn well he done totally fucked up your whole life.
Done brain wiped the man. Done
But
literally brain wiped the man, and then still have the audacity to drag for Gabby. I just EJ is such a loathsome, despicable, handsome devil that he is a habit that I couldn't quit either. I'd be trying to fix him and kill him all at the same time.
hmm
In between passionate makeout sessions.
exactly. So it was so that was a nice touch, especially because and also I do believe part of it is that EJ likes to reinforce that whatever the hell it was Rolf did is still holding in Stefan. That he's not backsliding, or that his natural feelings for Gabby are not resurfacing. And right now, even though it's not his main concern, EJ is assured that all of Stefan's attention is focused
Is
on Chloe.
still on Chloe. Ugh. She definitely always is the beneficiary of another woman's man's affections. She gets all the nice treatment from every woman's man that she is just the worst to me. Ugh. But
I
anywho,
don't
I'm
ever
not gonna
liked her with
drag for
Philip, but
Chloe.
that's just me.
Ugh. But I'm not even gonna drag for her today because at least she kept Nicole in check and checked her. So I'm gonna go ahead and give her a pass there.
Mhm.
But now our Wendy and Johnny comes home today.
Finally from Jakarta, and they have, and of course the some result is that they now know that Ralph really did do what they suspected he did, but
But
they don't have proof of it.
and they're not sure exactly who made the call, whether it was EJ or whether it was Lee. So
hmm
our superhero Wendy always is the brains of the little operation with her and Johnny. Says no. What we're going to do, since we have no proof, we're going to split up and we're going to confront them with what we know at the same time.
and see what happens.
And those scenes were wonderful when Johnny shows up with Uncle Stephen and Daddy EJ in the Demira living room. So
hmm
the mood was solemn because EJ and Stephen were still mourning Susan, and Johnny doesn't even know his grandma Susan is dead.
Right.
He comes in all accusatory, and EJ is like, yeah, it's not important. We got to talk about
We
it. It's
gotta talk.
important. Stephen
hmm
leaves, and Johnny still got his ass on his shoulder because he know he is loaded with all the tea. He's
All
trying to
the secrets
unload
of
on
Indonesia.
EJ. Right. He tries to unload on EJ, but EJ breaks it to him that Grandma Susan is dead.
hmm
And
At the
Carson
hands of
Boatman's
Ava Vitale, no less.
he didn't give away who it was initially. But
Mm-mm.
when he said Grandma Susan is dead, Carson Boatman's face, perfect. It had
He emoted
everything
the
it was
shit out of
supposed to
that.
have. Like he had like, wait a minute, this is not what's supposed to be happening. I'm supposed to be handing you your ass. It had that look like, wait a minute, what happened? And then his eyes began to water. And I was like, oh my God, he's doing it. He is pulling this off. And he did. So
He
listen,
did.
Wendy and Lee. Now that was a whole nother damn confrontation. I want you to go ahead and break them down on yes.
Well, Wendy and here's the thing. So when Jalen shows up at Gabrielle's house, and Lee is completely on the wrong page because he thinks Rolf has been successful, that he didn't shot them up with can't remember shit 17, and that he sent them and he sent Johnny and Wendy back to the US no more the wiser of his part in all of this mess. And he's assuming that this was just that with that, he can basically talk to jump stupid with her and treat her like she was off playing hooky, with a dilettante like like Giovanni Roman Demira.
Oh, but the way he did it though,
Mm-hmm.
Li Shin is the epitome of staunch, stuffy, traditional, um, patriarchal male.
Mm-hmm.
He showed all of that. He put all that on display. The way he talked to his little sister, very respectful but very authoritative. He
Uh-huh.
talked to her like the right hand of their father, like
Right.
literally,
Also,
like I mean,
because
like
here's the
military, like.
yeah, well, because here's the thing, and this is, and I only know this because of Chewy, one of my high school friends, is that in 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 Asian cultures, older siblings are responsible for you. There, it's not just like how we do it here in America, where look after your brother, look after your sister. It literally is a case of I am responsible for you. Especially if our parents are around, I am fully responsible for you, which means that you're gonna listen to me and you're gonna respect me, and you're not gonna jump stupid with me. You're not gonna be play crazy with me, because I am the elder and you are the don't say. You are the younger sibling, and that's just how it rolls. So that's why when Wendy rolled into Gabby's house being kind of rude, he was like, you ain't.
Mhm.
Why you acting like you ain't got no home training? What is this?
And listen, I have to tell you, I am glad that you described that,
Mm,
because that is exactly what happened with Lee and Wendy today. So I would like to applaud Ron Carvalati and the team for making that so real, because what you just described is exactly
mm-hmm.
what we witnessed. This man literally, even Gabby. I mean, did you see Gabby standing up there looking like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the fuck out of here?
Like, yeah, y'all look like y'all about to roll in here. And I'm not trying to get in the middle of this shit, because this look like some brother sister shit I don't need to be in. Mm,
Exactly. I found Lee Shin today to be incredibly sexy. The way he stood there and dressed down his little sister, because again, it was love there. He did not talk shit to her. He didn't bring her down. He didn't drag her down. He literally tried to make her rise to the occasion. Like, you did this wrong, that wrong, that wrong, and then you got the audacity to come in here and do this, that, and the other too. Speak for yourself before you even get off your chest what you got on it. You go answer
eh,
to that shit first. You go answer for all these things
mhm.
that you did wrong before you even let out any oxygen about why you got your shoulders all puffed up.
Exactly, because that is a subtext of Asian culture. Like in
Culture.
South Korea, if you are an older sister, you are known. If you are an older brother, you are oppa, and your siblings have to listen to you. Your parents will come down on you if they find out you are not listening to your older sibling. Who told you to disrespect your sister? Who told you to disrespect your brother? How dare you? That is exactly the dynamic that was going on between Li Shen and Jinwei, because that is an important part of Asian sibling dynamics. So they
I'd
did a
like to ask a
fantastic job with
question
that.
for anybody that knows, even in YouTube. I think I saw something on Instagram, where an Asian woman was describing a tradition where, she had to, what she did was either cut the food or something. Like, she had to, what she did, it was like a tradition, like at Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatever a holiday was, where the oldest sibling would cut or like do something to the food of all the little kids. Like, it was in honor of, it was like, now this is your mother too. It's your sister, but this is the type of relationship y'all have. You don't have a relationship with this sibling like you have with the other ones, because she's the oldest one. She's up here like this with us. And there's some tradition what they do with the food, but I'm giving it up for days that they made that so freaking real, that we're actually talking about Asian culture and
Mhm.
how accurate they are portraying it on their soap opera.
They did. Oh, Electra Storm, to answer your question, when I was in high school, one of my best friends was a girl named Chewy. We called her Chew. Chewy was Blasian. She was Blasian. She was half Chinese and she was half black. So the dynamics in her family were always fascinating to see. And that was one of those dynamics on her mother, her Chinese, on the Chinese side of her family. That was a dynamic that, as someone who was raised in America, she couldn't. She was like, it is so different with them. She's like, because to her it was like, I ain't gotta listen to my brother, screw him. But it wasn't like that on her mom's side of the family. It was not
Right.
like that at all, because they view that entire sibling dynamic and relationship completely different than how we view it here in America. So
Mhm.
yes, I agree with you, Sam. I was extremely impressed with how yeah. Even though Wendy's an adult, she's not a child. So even though she's an adult, and you also saw, and it's also a callback to what Lee's father told him. What did he tell him when he decided to hire Jin Win at Demera headquarters?
That it was she was his responsibility.
Yes,
If he, yep. If
she's
she's
your
working his
responsibility.
right, she was off in Alaska somewhere, and
Yeah.
Lee's father literally talked to him, and Lee was like, "No, Dad, yeah, but actually, she really does deserve it." Lee's
Hmm.
father was not going to move Wendy unless Lee agreed that she should be moved. That was that At that point we should have known that Lee is less like a brother to her and more like a stepfather.
Expect doubly so away from home, because she's his
Oh,
only
away from home,
family.
she's
Even
his
worse
father.
so.
Oh no,
Yeah.
away from home, he's the father. Away from home, he is it. He is the authority. That's why
Yep.
I
He's
said
the
it was like Lee
disciplinarian.
was acting like her father's right hand man. Like if the father is the general, then he was whatever is the man next to the general. That's what Lee was acting like. And that means he is the HNIC in charge when father's not around. He is the authority.
Hmm. And
Mhm.
woe betide Jinwin for acting like she forgot that's how they run that shit. Even, but Wendy had something for his ass today.
Now
Ooh,
that's
ooh.
why I said my Wendy Shin. I don't care what nobody say. She's actually a superhero. She's a superhero in a little young woman's body. That's what she is. She stood, the little actress was so incredible in her performance. Both of them were incredible. I just cannot say enough for the Lee and Wendy scenes. Go ahead. Oh, yes.
It
Fantastic.
was.
She was in his face. He even remember when he like you said, he thought that he knew what she knew and he was just gonna dress her down. Now when she let him know that Rolf was gonna, brain wipe her and Johnny on his call, what did he do?
Hmm.
He laughed it off like nobody's gonna believe you. And you see how confident he was in that?
Yeah. He was not. He was totally playing it off. And the
Oh,
thing is, if
I didn't
Wendy.
get he was playing it off. I got that he was like, oh, okay. So she knows something. But he still was like, nobody's going to believe you. And I felt that he had some confidence in that. He still
Well,
felt
it's
like he could control the situation.
Well, it's because if she had been successfully inoculated, he's seen it firsthand. Because Rolf already did it to Gabby, and so far there are no cracks. And whatever
True.
that
That's
crap,
true.
yeah, whatever
That's true.
crap it was he shot Gabby up with, it seems to work 100%.
So,
And so, mhm.
so not only does she let him know that she knows about Rolf, she lets him know that she is aware that he is also responsible for wiping Stefan's brain. To
Yep.
forget about Gabby and fall in love with, wait a minute, do she know that he amplified the Chloe feelings?
No, they didn't go into. Ralph didn't give them that kind of detail. All he said was she basically made the accusation that Lee was responsible for Ralph taking Chloe taking Gabby's the love he has for Gabby away from Stefan, and he confirmed it. So
Okay.
uh,
So
so
Rolf
that's
has been successful at keeping the lid on everything nobody knew. He didn't tell nobody about Kristen in the orchid business, nor has he told Wendy and Johnny about um the feelings. The Kristen amplifying up the Chloe feelings.
nothing. It's all and that's part of why Wendy and Johnny were kind of fishing a little bit because they
Right.
only have a very small piece of the puzzle. They didn't get any information to indicate that EJ was involved with it. They have no idea that Kristen was involved with it. And oh,
Mm-hmm.
Bubbles is back. Hey, Bubbles!
I'm back.
Yay!
Yes, hunty.
We're still on days, child.
We're on
I
Wendy
was
and Johnny.
like, I could hear y'all, and I was like, "Ooh, it sounds like it getting good. Oh, it sounds like it getting
Mhm.
good."
Well, you can't help but get good when you've got Ron Carvalati and their team giving us really true to life text and subtext and culture, Asian culture. It,
And
Honey,
they did a good job with it. So Johnny and Jinwin are both using the limited amount of information they got to try to fish for more. They're trying to bluff their. It's like they got a partial confession from Rolf, but they're trying to bluff their way into full confessions from Lee and EJ.
right. And Wendy's so smart that she is going, see now, so it's a good thing she got Lee. Because
Mm.
Johnny wouldn't have a way to crack Lee. Wendy is the brains in the operation. So when if Wendy gets near EJ again, she'll be able to put more together.
Well, that's the thing. EJ and Johnny are going through this whole turmoil because of Susan's death. So that's like a wild card feature. And that's what I'm curious about tomorrow for them. Is EJ such a wreck about his mother's untimely death that he's going to totally screw this up and say some shit he never would say to Johnny under normal circumstances?
Well, hey, Johnny already accused uh, EJ of doing something at the end of the show.
He did.
Johnny actually accused him.
He did. Now EJ hasn't responded yet because the thing is, Lee has not been keeping EJ in the loop about this little Jakarta trip. He has no idea that that's what the hell that Johnny was doing on the other side of the planet.
Exactly. Exactly.
So he does not realize that his son and Wendy were over there playing Nancy Drew
In
and
Jakarta.
Frank Hardy
Exactly.
In Jakarta, trying to find out exactly what they had been up to. So and because
Exactly.
he's so distressed about his mother, I have to wonder if he gonna mess up. That's what I'm waiting on.
Well, he pretty much is like, what the hell are you talking about? When what did Johnny accuse him of? Messing with his brain. He didn't accuse him of doing anything. Oh, wait a minute. Did he accuse him of doing anything to Stefan? Because he
He
did.
did.
Okay, yeah, because if he directly came out and accused him, EJ acted like he didn't know what the hell he was talking about. Because
Well, here's the
yeah,
thing is, EJ is actually out of the loop in a few things. He doesn't know that Johnny and Jinwin were in Jakarta digging up Ralph because they had suspicions about what happened with Stefan. He also has no idea. I don't think he has any idea that Gabby Hernandez went to Ralph's lab and got her memory temporarily wiped because she got this close to the truth. Because the only people who know about that are Lee and Kristen, and they kept that to themselves, I think.
right, exactly. So, but EJ does absolutely know that Rolf brain wiped
Stefan.
Stefan. He knows
He-
that. But did he have anything to do with it? I think that was always Lee.
yes,
That was always Lee, though.
here's the
Lee
thing.
was the
It
one
was
that had been holding Stefan on ice all that time. It was Lee.
But that's the thing. Lee's reason for wanting his memory wiped was because he wanted Gabby. EJ's reason for wanting the memory wiped is because
To
he
get Debbie
wanted
out of Demira.
control. Yeah, he wanted Gabby the hell out of Demera. Kristen just wanted Brady back, so she saw an opening where putting Chloe where Gabby was got her what she wanted.
But my question is, EJ's part in wiping, did EJ play a part in actually the wiping before or after the fact? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Was EJ involved before or after the
He
fact?
was. This was a group
Okay.
decision.
Okay, so that's my point. So EJ needs to stop pretending so incredulous when uh Johnny stepped to him and said that he knowed about what they did with Stefan and Gabby's brains. But he's acting pretty incredulous. I can't wait for that to pick up tomorrow.
He had,
I'm
well, here's the thing. The problem is this. Though this is not the fashion soap, I am not 100% aware of the division of exactly how the Demera shares of Demera are split. But I am under the strong impression that should Jake decide that he doesn't want EJ to be CEO anymore, he has the shares to make that happen.
right. Because that's
So,
the only reason why Gabby isn't CEO. The only reason why she isn't is because she no longer has Stefan's shares. Stefan's
exactly.
shares swing the vote, swing the power.
Precisely. And Stefan, once he woke up and realized that, he supposedly didn't love Gabby anymore, he, of
He
course, had
was
no interest in her being over Demera.
at all and plus not only did he it amplify us feelings for Chloe, it made him repulsed by Gabby. He would at first he would be like like she smelled bad or he was getting sick on the stomach, like it was very very strong. So yeah, um they really did a number on Stefan's brain to get Gabby out of Demera. They really
It
did.
They really did. And the thing that's a kick about it is that, let's say tomorrow this all goes away. If this all goes away and Gabby retains or gets back her feeling or her place um in Stefan's heart, Stefan is, first of all, is going to go absolutely ape shit on anyone and everyone who had anything to do with tinkering with his memory. And that
As they
includes,
should. And
yeah,
and I can't wait for Gavin and Steffi to go walk into the Demera mansion as Mr. and Mrs. Demera, the head of the household, the head of the household. Because if I'm not mistaken, that is Stefan and Gabby's mansion at this point.
Well, that's a point.
that is a point. That is a point because,
Now,
yeah,
and he
because
don't know
they
we don't
completely
need any
tossed Kristen
Damaris
on her
kicked out,
ass.
and we don't want any Damaris kicked out. But EJ is gonna have to bend the knee at Demera and at home. I won't. And did y'all see how fabulous Gabby looked today in her little yellow dress?
I
She
love
looked
that dress.
lovely.
Her and I just cannot get over the wardrobe and makeup on days since they've been on Peacock. Nicole looked exquisite. Chloe looked fabulous. Wendy looked perfect. A young lady in nice pants and a shirt long sleeve, just so appropriate for a nice young lady. I'm telling you that the wardrobe on days and the makeup has just been fantastic. The ladies have been slaying. Their performances have been on point. Even Chloe today, I told you with that Bride of Chucky thing, it really made me cackle early in the morning laughing at Chloe's ass.
Yeah,
It
and
was.
how I love
It's
her, but she getting on my nerves.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's because you see her with Stefan, and it's like, it's not that I begrudge her moving on from Brady, because hell, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't be hanging around either. But it's like Sam said, that Chloe ends up being the recipient of so much goodwill from other people's men because she
Mhm.
got messed up.
She always finds a soft damn landing. And I guess and that's just the beauty of Days of Our Lives too. I mean, why shouldn't Chloe, a legacy character, a stunning woman, a good character, a good girl character with a career and a child, why shouldn't she find a nice man? But she seems to always find a nice cushy place and gets all the goodwill from all these men. And it's just like she never just settles anywhere. So she's like a feather in the wind to me. She just floats around, and wherever she lands is where she be.
It's actually part of the goodness of Days. You know
Yeah,
how other soaps you have characters that just pull up and stake out and just be single like in perpetuity. That
yeah.
shit don't happen on Days,
It doesn't, and and
and I
it proves
appreciate it.
that these characters have more to contribute than just whatever their romantic partner is. Because, like I said today, the exposition scenes between Chloe and Nicole were top notch. It is when exposition goes right, when everything that an exposition scene is supposed to damn be. That's what happened today with those scenes between Chloe and Nicole.
You're exactly right, and it really, and also, and the thing is and that's the thing about Days, you tend to forget some of the friendships that people are friends with each other until you see them in the scene where they're having this deep conversation that seems feels like it came out of nowhere.
Yep.
And but the reality of it is, no, it's not. I don't know where those people, those they get down like that. They're friends like that.
Well, that was today. I mean, today to me was family, a foundational relationships day. We
You
had
know, and it.
EJ and Stefan and his son Johnny,
Mhm.
Chloe and Nicole, Brady and Eric, even Stefan and Chloe. Stefan and Chloe are friends at this point, even since I've been watching in 2018 when she first became a thorn in my side, when she came
Mhm.
between Chloe and Steffi in the beginning, when we were first getting Steffi. But they have been friends and consistently friends. They've never even slept together, have they? No.
Previously,
They slept together?
yeah, because remember before Stabby happened, he was with Chloe.
No, but they hadn't slept together.
Are you
Nope.
sure?
I'm positive because that's when I started watching. They hadn't slept
Hmm.
together. That's why I said she was the fly in the ointment. But her and Stefan, I do not recall. We might have to Google it, but I don't recall. Maybe I blocked it out. But but I'm just to lend to it. She's never been my favorite character, but today, her performance in the scene she did with Nicole, it solidified her place in Salem for me. I'll never say we can get rid of Nicole. I'm sorry, Chloe. I never say that again.
Oh no, she has her uses. It's just that outside the context of her previous relationship, sometimes you just get absolutely aggravated with her because they like to because she her two best pairings for me were always either her and Brady or her and Philip. Personally, she irritates me when she's with Bear Brady, so I was always pro Chloe and Philip. But I'm a hangover from the '90s and that, so I'm always gonna want the last Blast crew to have happily ever afters with each other. That's just me.
I'm the same way. I want her with either Brady or Philip.
Philip.
That's it.
Philip.
It's one or the other. If Brady got to be held hostage by his stepmama, then let it be
Mhm.
Philip
Let it
because
be Philip.
she had a really good thing with Philip for a while there. And
Listen.
Philip, after Philip came to his senses back then when they were kids, he was really sweet with her because I was like, this little asshole. He's sitting there with everybody else making fun of her. And as soon as she take off these glasses and beat her down, well, back then we wouldn't call it beat your face. But as soon as she take off these glasses, pump up her hair a little bit, and throw on some makeup, he's gonna be gaga goo goo foolish over this girl. And that's exactly what the hell happened.
Mm-hmm.
So we came
It's a,
to little Shell, put on
put
some.
on a red dress, and it was game over.
It was game over when she put that red dress on because she'd been walking around in black, cloaked up. They was calling her Ghoul Girl. She had on them glasses, and she just looked
Gigi.
atrocious. And that dance with that damn red dress on, that was it. Philip fell head over heels for her. And then you were like, okay, yeah, I can see them too. They cute. I like this.
Philip is so damn adorable. And I didn't even see the last Blast Crew. I just started watching in 2018. So I only got a couple of, runs of Philip. One run, I think, and I fell in love with that actor. I remember
I'm
when I
upset
tweeted
with how
one
they
day,
treated my Philip.
I was like, I fell in love with him. I was just like, he was trying to woo Gabby, but he was so goddamn charming and natural. I was looking at the actor like, no, that gets a lot of ass because he is just smooth. I'm getting all kinds of sex appeal from him. And I was just like, I am in love with Philip Kiriakis. And somebody
It was.
replied, like, baby, we all are.
It's because here's the thing. This is the thing about Philip is that, and the thing is, I got when Philip when the last Blast crew went to high school, and you had Sean and Belle being aged up to go to high school, and then you had Kate and Victor's son Philip coming back from boarding school to go to regular school. I was like, I'm like, Philip Kiriakis, you are a dead bang mold for Lucas Roberts 10 years ago. Fresh off from hoity-toity school, you think you are the bee's knees and you have contempt for everybody in the universe. I wants to see who they gonna put you with. And then here come Chloe, this adopted child who we later find out was really Nancy and Craig's child, dressed in black, glasses. She straight up looked like she stepped out the step, looked like an extra in the craft. And I was
Mm.
like, you know what? I wants to see where this relationship goes. If you Google Philip and Chloe on Days of Our Lives on YouTube, I guarantee you will find tons of video from them in their teenage years.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
when they was babies,
Teenage,
honey.
teenage Philip and Chloe. That's what everybody
Yeah.
holding on to. Have
Yep.
they been popping and hot ever since they was teenagers?
Yes, and the worst part about the whole mess with her and Brady is that here's the thing: both Brady and Philip are curiacises. That's what makes it. But they're in the same age group. This that see Bo being Victor's son really threw off a couple of timelines when it comes to people because it's very easy for you to forget that Victor is Brady's dad, Brady's grandfather, and Philip's dad and Philip's father. So
Yeah.
here you, these two men are boys, older because Brady was college age at the time that they were getting out of high school, scrapping over the same girl, and I'm like, oh wait, y'all are related, ain't you? Ain't he your damn uncle?
Yep. Then he was fighting his nephew over him and his nephew. Uncle
Yeah,
Few. Uncle Few was
Yeah,
sitting over there fighting over a girl.
that's
yes,
crazy.
they were, and it got ugly because, but it was so. Oh, it was fantastic. And to this day, I still remember that Chloe and Philip's song was I Need You by Leanne Rhymes. That's how good it was.
Mm, wow.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Girl, yes, they went ice skating on this pond. They was figure skaters, girl. They was figure skating to I Need You by Leanne Rhymes in the 90s, and I was here for it.
Ain't this
Wow.
right there where they planted that tree that time?
Mm-hmm.
They
Yes,
planted
honey.
a tree?
Yeah. And then they
Yes,
went back and did something else with the tree. Philip ended up cutting the tree down though. Oh
Well,
yeah.
so what? So how? What? So please, let's leave tonight on the high point of Chloe and Philip because I didn't see any of that. So between the two of y'all ladies, um, what was the high point? And not the teenage, let's say adult, at least adult, where we had just. Well, I guess it was
uh,
always the same two actors.
Not really.
um,
One time they had a different Philip when he got his leg blown off, and I ain't really like that Philip. And
No,
I
we gonna only talk about this one with the dimples. Just my dimple Philip.
yeah,
um,
all of their adult escapades. Now the last blast, I can get you through some of that, but the stuff that they got into once they became adults, and then Brady went and became Rex,
Oh
and
God. So we see as soon as Brady get added in, that's it. It's a wrap. So the last
yeah,
blast was the high peak of
I well,
flow.
the high positive peak. The thing that made me the happiest with them is when, well, long story short, Philip ended up cheating on his wife with Chloe, and Chloe got pregnant. And for the longest time, we thought that her son Parker was for Philip because somebody was screwing with the DNA results. I can't remember exactly who it was. But when it came out that the baby really wasn't for Philip, I was so mad. I was like, y'all couldn't let us have this. You already then screwed everything up by having her and Philip break up, him marry this chick, her marrying Brady. So when they ended up having an affair and she got pregnant, I was like, yes. Even if my couple ain't together, they got a baby. Only for them to turn around and completely yank the rug from under me and make that damn baby dangerous.
Daniel,
Mm. He dead now, child, but
but
it
not
was
even Brady. Daniel,
yes, Daniel.
child.
And I
They
didn't
need to
even know who
retcon that back
Daniel
and make it
was.
Phillips.
What was
So
that, Bubs?
I said I don't even know who Daniel was because I wasn't watching it during that time.
You ain't
Maggie's
missing
son.
shit.
I heard it
You
was
ain't, you
Maggie's
ain't.
son. Maggie's
Yeah,
son.
you ain't. Yes, you're not missing exactly. You're not missing much. He got on my nerves. I was just like,
Everybody hated Daniel from what I could read.
He
There's
was
not
a
he
a,
was
horse.
there's not a person out there that liked him.
he was a male Horton. Okay, that enough said. The only thing
Mm.
worse than the female Hortons are the male Hortons.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
But can we go back to talk about how Mike and Nancy's fucking right now?
Oh my
Girl,
God. Well, yeah, I'm not surprised.
Can we
I'm
talk about that?
I am so I mean, and I really do hope they have the actors come back on scene together. And I hope they drag Craig's bitch ass out the closet so he could choke on it, since he the one who started all this damn confusion.
Well, Jennifer should come back for Christmas, so I would see that Mike and Nancy would bring Jennifer back.
I want them to come home engaged.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh, yes,
I
because she
want
was
Nancy.
engaged to Clyde. She is owed a wedding.
I want Nancy to be on deck to be the next Horton woman.
What if Nancy and what's his name might get married on New Year's Eve because we know Gabby and Lee won't be.
Well, because Gabby gonna be going off with Stefan. Honey, whoever
Exactly.
can stand in for this wedding can stand in. But all I am saying is, I want Mike Horton and
Nancy.
hell, I forgot
Well,
her. Just like
well,
Nancy
her name wouldn't be Wesley anymore
Miller.
because she's
Nancy Miller. I think they said
yeah.
Miller was her main name because when they said her name, I was like, "Who the hell is that?" Ain't but one Nancy on the show, and that's Nancy Wesley. And then it
Mm-hmm.
went on to say, "Well, Nancy and Craig broke up and all that." I was like, "Oh, Nancy Wesley is Nancy Miller." Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Nancy Miller fixing to be Nancy Horton, and I want to see it. I
Me
want
too.
to see it
I love
because
Patrika Darbo.
I love her, and I especially loved. I love Nancy from the '90s. This Nancy they got around here now, that's all soft and cuddly, oodly. I don't know this bitch.
Mm.
I don't.
Nancy was hardcore in the 90s.
I don't know her.
Well,
I
we
don't
all
know her.
soften as we age. She softened a little bit.
I don't know her.
She
I
was
don't.
she was mad. She was up there madly ingratiating herself into the social scene, cozying up to Marlena, telling Chloe make friends with her daughter.
Thank you.
Make
Thank
friend. That's the town doctor. She's respected. Make friends with her daughter.
Nancy.
Wow.
Nancy was. She wasn't moving the chess pieces. Nancy was making the chess pieces and putting them on the board so that they could be moved. If she thought that she had to make a way to get an inroad, honey, she was on it. I'm gonna go over here and be friends with these people. We ain't got
Hmm.
nothing coming, but that's a stepping stone for my husband to get to where he want. Like she was Craig's biggest cheerleader. Craig
Mm.
could have farted in her face and she would have been like, "My baby's ass smells like Febreze." That's how
Yes,
Mm.
she was for
indeed.
some Craig back in the
Mhm.
day, honey.
And Nancy was
Mhm.
always on her game. Oh, that's Dr. Marlena Evans' daughter. Be friends with her. Oh, wait, that boy over there, he a Brady. You need to get to know him because
Oh,
that family knows everybody.
yep, honey.
Oh, I
Nancy,
love
she
Nancy.
was on it. So
I
if
like
she could come
Nancy
back
and
and do that magic with Mike Horton,
She. I'll be cackling like a ghoul.
but that's what we would need. That somebody is out there as Nancy. She is so over the top. She needs a Horton That's balance right there.
And as far as I'm concerned, she deserves somebody to really be into her after how they completely messed up Craig and Nancy. Not that I had anything against them making his character gay, but they ended up doing it all for nothing at the end of the day.
Right, because he's gone now and Leo's still around and we about to get okay, I'm not even gonna go into that. But Bubbles, I know we're going a little low, but I know we probably got time. Did you want to discuss anything specific about days today because you were out so long?
No, I'm going to respect the time because I was not paying attention to the calendar today. I was supposed to cancel today and I forgot to do that. So no. Also because Electra Storm has said it is 10:04, girls.
Okay.
Is correct.
Shut your mouths up. So we gonna
Okay.
go ahead and end tonight, but tomorrow I will probably have lots to say because now I know how to maybe work around the antenna on my TV. So we might have some GH talk tomorrow, and
Ooh,
we're gonna definitely be talking about some Jen
days in the morning.
Win shit. You know, I want me some Lee Shin so bad. I want Gabby to leave him. I'm fixing to write myself in today's.
I
I'm
told you he
I'm
was
gonna send
sexy.
Jerry Jamie Giddens. I'm gonna send him some money on the Cash App and ask them if they can create a character named Bubbles, um, just for like to sit up there at the Brady Pub and catch Lee Shin's tears.
Yes. Mm.
When Gabby leaves him, or he can maybe run into her at the Salem Arms, and then she can comfort him, wrapped up in her. I don't know. You know what? You're the writer. I'm just saying.
He was sexy.
I'm willing to comfort him, and if I have to do it
Yeah.
vicariously through some other Hollywood actress, some walk-on person that ain't got but one line, I'm good with that because his polar forehead is gonna need to be rubbed real good when Gabby break his heart, and I just want him to know that he is not alone.
Yes, he was sexy
Mm-mm.
today. I'm
Here
telling
with
you. That
him.
that song, it was hot. I'm telling you, it was hot to me.
I
It was
I
hot.
don't know who his next parent is gonna be when all of this blow up, but hey, as far as I'm concerned, he might as well hang a shingle outside that say "open for business." He'll have some takers.
Girl,
All day long.
Nicole fixing to be real single when Eric with the y'all talked about Jada had this abortion. Nicole fixing to be alone so she can go over there and take up Gabby's leftovers.
Hey, why not? Better hit look, better Lee Shin than EJ, cause
Yeah, I
every
don't want
time
to leave
her
Brady is dumb behind. He just a dumb. He's a dumbo until Kristen get him together.
yeah, but if Kristen find out he putting the stones to Nicole, all hell gonna break
Again.
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 She'll be like, hell no, I just got rid of one bitch,
Yeah.
and you back on the scene. Oh no, we will not be
Mhm.
having this.
So
Good night, Amaya.
all right. So we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys for hanging in there and keeping the show going in my temporary absence. That's what I love about this. Y'all don't really need me, but you need me. And so I
We
came back.
love you, Bubbles. We need your input.
And I'm so glad
Always.
y'all are here. We have fun together. We're gonna do this again tomorrow night. I think some of our people have started to tap out anyway because it's 10 o'clock and I'm surprised Sam ain't already tapped out. So we
You
gonna get
know it. You
everybody um, wrapped up and in the bed because we got days and coffee at 6 o'clock.
in the morning. You got it, guys. I will
So
see
we
y'all
got
for
to go.
days and coffee. I will be up.
And for once, I might actually be able to watch it early instead of waiting until the afternoon. So I'm gonna shoot for it.
You better come on,
T.
girl.
Yes.
I got to know what Jada gonna tell Eric exactly. So yeah, I'm gonna be up early.
I can't wait.
Okay,
Good night, everybody.
good night,
All
y'all.
right,
Again.
y'all have a good one.